Does that mean we're live?
We are live. There we go. All right. And welcome everyone to another episode of the RJ Square podcast. Hold on. I'm hearing some echoes. Hold on. Hold on.
Goes? Let me see.
Do you guys hear that?
Like oh, I think that's my dog.
I don't.
Yeah, let me change to short cam. Hold on.
Yeah, I keep hearing myself.
It's not coming through on this end.
It's coming through on mine.
Camology. Jesus, what the hell's-
Hmm. You don't hear it, Jermaine?
No, there's no echo. You just sound clear. It might just be coming. Unplug your headphones and plug them back in. Maybe. You're the
No.
tech guy. I have no idea. But both of you guys sound clear.
Okay, what's going on? Oh, it's audio. That's dumb. Okay.
All right.
No reverb on this end.
Okay, I think we're good. I had to kill that Instagram. I don't know what happened. There was a ton of. Okay, so it's gone now. All right, it's gone. Wow.
Okay.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, we are still figuring this out, but it's all good because we're still here. All right. So, as I was saying, welcome to another episode of the RJ Squared podcast, where we invite you to join the conversation. I am Jamal, and I'm here with Jermaine and Renell, and we are your unfiltered crew, diving into life, culture, manhood, and so much more. We stream here live every Monday and Thursday for now at 9 p.m. Eastern on YouTube and Instagram. So make sure you hit the subscribe button, drop a comment, and join the conversation to help grow the channel and build the community. Okay, tonight's topic. Let's get into it. This is episode 7, Stupid Ways to Die. But before we get into that, fellas, what's been good? What's been going on?
J-Dog?
I'm good, man. Business as usual. With a few different, some few mishaps. Had a guy give me his resignation today. He'll be leaving the company next week, Friday. Have to find 2 more employees for his loss. He told me that this morning when he got back in. He's been with us pretty much since the beginning. But, wished him well, appreciated his work ethic and all that good stuff. Left. He's leaving in not necessarily a 2-week advance notice, but around 10 days. But I can't blame him. He has things going on with his family. He's trying to make different steps. He's a good guy. I wish him the best of luck. I went and got the truck the other day. Everything's going well with that truck. Called to inquire about something. And the last thing I was thinking about is the registration was expired. So the truck is inactive right now. So I had to run around and try to get all that handled. That should be handled maybe in the middle of next week. So now the truck is just sitting there, not making money. But we're still pushing on. We're composed. We do what we do, and we fight the good fight. Good to be here tonight. Nice to see you fellas again.
Absolutely. Renell, what's up with you, man?
No, you know what? This week has been, trying to get back into shape. I've actually been a little more consistent with working out, so I've really been happy about that. I can feel the difference, I really can. So just hoping to kind of continue to do that and build that habit. So happy to report that definitely feeling the difference. And the beautiful thing about being in our, I guess, in midlife, is that it doesn't take very long to see results and to feel the difference. So yeah, good things.
Got it. All right, good to hear that. For me, I don't really have much to say. It was just a regular couple of days. Nothing I can't get into without incriminating myself. So I'll just, you know, save that for our after party. We had our first after party episode. We have
That's
yet
right.
to. We have yet to. So what happened to me is more for after party. I'm not going to get into that on the stream, but once we do have a Patreon and we upload that, and Lord, pray for us when we do. Yeah, you guys can learn what happened to me this week, but I'm not going to get into it in this episode. Anyway, so we had Pastor Adams in our previous episode. Shout out to Jason Adams. Thank you so much for blessing us. See what I did there? Blessing us with your presence on our last episode. Great content. He definitely had a calling to do what he's doing. I mean, he was able to just quote scripture like nothing, and just gave us a lot of great content and a lot of great responses. So, want to appreciate him. And in the spirit of life and death, that's what kind of inspired me to come up with this topic tonight. Have you guys heard of the Darwin Awards?
The what?
The Darwin Awards, as in Charles Darwin?
Mhm.
For writing?
No.
What is it for?
The Darwin Awards are an award awarded to someone for dying in a stupid way.
Oh,
Yeah. So that's what we're about to get into. So here, let me share my screen and I'll tell you exactly what I'm talking about. So we don't have any videos tonight. I thought we would do something different. Instead, I'm going to share some of these articles that I found, and they talk about the Darwin Awards. So as you can see on my screen here, I have several articles here, and I'm going to read them, and we're going to just talk about each one.
Nice.
Yeah, that's what we're doing. And I realize now why Instagram was acting up. Okay, fun fact, you can't use the same browser to stream Instagram. It has to be a completely different browser, or else you will hear the echo.
Oh, okay.
So, and I was using a different browser before. I was trying to be fancy and use Chrome for everything. Well, now I know I shouldn't do that. So, okay. So no Instagram right now because I can't get my other browser working. So, all right, we're just going to talk about the Darwin Awards. So here's the first story. And this is death by planking. And first off, I have to admit my age. I had no idea what planking even meant. And apparently it was a fad that took off in 2008 where people just lay flat on surfaces, I guess.
Yeah.
You guys?
I've heard the term planking, yes.
I had never heard of it. I had to look it up. So anyway, so this guy, death by planking. So this happened May 5th, 2011 in Brisbane, Australia. So a 22-year-old Brisbane resident decided to try his hand at planking. He stretched himself out face down on the railing. I guess that's the railing of like a balcony. It's not a complete sentence, but I assume that's what they mean. And attempted to take a photograph, only to lose his balance and fall 7 stories to his death. Actually, I remember seeing that on YouTube. Not the actual event, but I think the selfie he took before he lost his balance. You guys take selfies? You into that?
I don't take selfies.
I have, but I mean, I don't. That's not my. Yeah.
And I'm not the kind of clout chaser to.
I don't even like taking regular pictures.
Yeah. I mean, it's not that serious.
Well, the other thing is, I don't find myself to be very photogenic. Period. Full stop.
We have talked about that.
Yeah. So I don't really. I just don't. The camera doesn't love me. So
yeah. So you're not going to be on a balcony trying to get a
no
selfie of yourself anytime soon. I hear you. No, me either. No, you're right. All right, we can move on. And I've actually owned a motorcycle. I had to sell it when I had my first kid, but
what kind of motorcycle did you?
I had a Triumph Speed Triple. I have pictures of it as proof that I actually have one.
Is that a cock rocket?
No.
What is that?
It's like a Harley kind of.
Oh, it's like a Harley?
No. So okay, so Triumph does make the classic motorcycles, but so mine was an upright bike, meaning it looked it wasn't like the Japanese bikes that maybe you're talking about. It's kind of a
Yeah.
combination of the two, but
Mhm.
it was sport.
Okay.
It was nice. I loved it. I love that thing, and I would go, I don't know, 150 miles an hour, and I was young, whatever.
So,
But
so that was your
yeah,
adrenaline rush, and then you had a child, and you're like, yeah, no more.
yeah, I was like, yeah, I can't
Mhm.
die. This is stupid. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, but no matter what, I always have my helmet on. I'll tell you
Right.
that.
Right.
And these people here. So 2011 again, interesting year for this to happen twice, but protesting motorcycle helmet laws in Onondaga, New York, wherever that is, man was participating in a helmetless protest ride when he was killed after flipping over the handlebars and fatally hitting his head.
Oh,
Karma,
yeah.
karma. So, be careful what you wish for because you'll get it. And yeah, that's crazy. That's crazy. All right. Oh, did all these take place in? Oh no, okay. Some take place in 2010. That's crazy. All right. So here's a double Darwin. A young couple driving along Via Dutra, wherever that is, the largest freeway in Brazil, decided to stop along a side of the road for a quickie. It's never been that serious for me, but okay. They parked on the freeway in the right-hand lane,
Yeah.
not on the shoulder. Naturally, a cargo truck collided with the car, instantly killing them both. That's rough.
The
For sales.
right-hand lane.
Yeah. 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 I
It's
don't know
not that
what
serious. Like
that's
what?
crazy. That's crazy. Wheelchair fail. And there is another video of this on YouTube. This
Mhm.
happened in South Korea. A handicapped man rammed his wheelchair into elevator doors 3 times after being irritated that the elevator had gone without him. The 40-year-old plunged down an empty elevator shaft to his death as the doors could not withstand the force of his chair. Safety regulations were strengthened after the elevator was installed to prevent accidents such as might happen to children and drunks. Well, it didn't work for him. Yo, what's the lesson we're learning here? I don't know that there is one, but
Mhm.
I mean,
They're
don't.
pretty all over the place.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly, exactly. Here's an interesting one. Do a barrel roll. During the American Sprint Car Series in Cedro Woolley, Washington, 2 crew members were working at a custom machine shop when they decided to make things a bit more interesting. I'm going to pause right there. What? Okay, they were working, and while at work, they wanted. I guess they were bored at work. Okay, I guess, but you're working. Okay. Sorry, that was a side thought of mine. Anyway, the men put a 55-gallon barrel in the parking lot, poured in 4 gallons of methanol, sat on top of the barrel, and lit it. They thought the barrel would skid across the parking lot like a rocket. The barrel blew up beneath them with enough force that the end of the barrel landed 120 feet away. The
Mhm.
2 landed in Harborview Medical Center in Seattle, where one of the 2 lost his life.
So they were inside the barrel.
They were on top of it, and they thought it would skid across the ground after they lit it. Right. Instead, it blew upwards and outwards, 120 feet.
Ridiculous.
Okay. Yeah. Kalita H was traveling at highway speed in her Chevy down Country Road 519 when she and her passenger decided to swap seats. I assume this is while it was still going down the highway. The car had an open T-top. She stood up, pulled herself onto the roof, and she fell. The Fayette County Coroner's Office reported that's that's quite the shift. Went straight to the coroner's office. The Fayette County Coroner's Office reported that the 20-year-old died from injuries sustained while impacting a guardrail. On the way down, her foot hit the steering wheel and the car veered left. The passenger, who was still inside the vehicle, grabbed the wheel and managed to regain control of the car and saved his own life. That was in 2010, August 14th. Wow.
So I do know of a guy that story like that, like it was it was so it was a combination of that story and the previous story that you kind of alluded to where they had a quickie.
Mm-hmm.
This was a guy that had a girlfriend, and he was telling me that like they literally had sex on the highway, driving on the highway
So
while driving.
I feel he told you that as kind of like a humble brag,
Yeah.
but I mean, it's kind of stupid.
It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
Like, what were you thinking?
Yeah. Like what? Like, yeah.
What?
Yeah.
Like you had to
Right.
be intoxicated to do that.
But you get what I'm saying. Like, I feel like that's something you do so you can brag that you did it.
Yeah.
Like, you
For
wouldn't do that and not tell anybody. I mean, you just pull over. I don't know. It's
Or I don't know. I mean, but yeah, like
yeah.
he totally did it.
So
course.
let's talk. Right. So Charles Darwin, he had the theory of evolution, and so I guess these are people who failed to evolve. I guess is the joke or the reason why they call it that.
Mhm.
But it's almost like the more knowledge we gain, or the easier it is to access knowledge, people assume they know more than they really do. And like first off, I don't know where you get methanol from, but to use methanol and then assume it would glide across the ground. I mean, these guys must have thought they understood like chemistry, but clearly they didn't. But I mean, a lot of these are just like hubris and overconfidence. So anyway, cautionary tale. These are classic Darwins. Um, this wife tossing one's pretty interesting. So during a heated marital dispute, a 25-year-old man picked up his 20-year-old wife and threw her off their eighth floor apartment balcony when she became tangled in the power lines below. He immediately leapt from the balcony and fell towards his wife, but missed the power lines completely and plunged to his death.
Wait. You did say 8 stories, right?
Did I say 8?
How many
Oh,
stories did he throw? Because you say he threw her.
yes, 8. Yeah, they were on the 8th floor.
Eighth floor.
Why would he even throw her over the what?
Well,
And then
it was a heated dispute, and I guess in the heat of the argument, he threw her over the balcony, and they were on the 8th floor of the
so he was
apartment.
trying to kill her. Because
Yeah.
that's what I would expect happens when you throw someone from the 8th floor, regardless of what type of argument is occurring. You're trying to kill
Yeah.
them if you're throwing them from the 8th floor. Oh, she's in the she got caught up in the wires. Let me jump to save her 8 stories down. Think I'm gonna grab the wires like Spider-Man, unhook her, and then we'll fall together and she'll be in my arms. And I apologize, honey. Let's go back up and order some.
Well, we don't know it was to save her. It could have been to finish it because it was like, oh, damn it, she got tangled and didn't hit the ground. I
So he
mean,
jumped with the people's elbow
you're right. Yeah,
to finish
maybe.
the job.
Exactly. Exactly. But here's the so he plunged to his death, but then the woman managed to swing over to a nearby balcony and was saved. So that's a twist.
Hey,
Yeah.
Spider Girl at her best, man.
Yeah. Yeah.
Gwen or whatever her name is.
Spider Gwen. Yeah. That was 1998, Buenos Aires. What's going on in South America?
That's really stupid.
Yeah. Here we go. Polish farmer Krzysztof Azinicki cut off his own head in 1995. Azinicki, 30, had been drinking with friends when it was suggested they strip naked and play some men's games.
Never heard of those.
I mean, I have heard of them. I've just never been a part of it.
You said men's games?
Men's games. Men's games.
Mm.
This was in 95. That could have meant anything. But anyway, initially they hit each other over the head with frozen turnips. But then one man took it to the next level by cutting off the end of his foot with a chainsaw. To one up his comrade, Azaninsky grabbed the saw and shouted, "Watch this then." He swung it at his own head and chopped it off.
This is a true story.
Apparently so. "It's funny," said one companion. "When he was young, he put on his sister's underwear, but he died like a man." Huh. Yeah, that's different. I get yeah.
He died like an idiot, bro. He didn't die like a man. Like, what the fuck?
But I mean, that peer pressure, you know?
Let me
Nah.
succumb to peer pressure.
Hey,
Cut my head off. Or even my foot. The foot is going too far. Like, bruh.
Yeah, like that. Yeah. I mean, they ain't been drinking, so
Ain't that much liquor in the world, Jamal.
No. But like you don't well, cutting off a foot or a toe. Yeah. I don't know.
Can you ever imagine being so drunk to outdo a guy friend of yours? You cut off any limb, even the tip of your finger. Can you ever imagine being that drunk?
No. And I've been like blackout drunk, lost hours of my life.
Yes.
And
you have.
thank you, Renell, for co-signing. Goodness. But yeah, I don't think I would ever. You know what I need to do? I need to cut off my foot. No, I don't think I would ever get that. No, no. But where are they? This Azaninsky. I mean, I don't know. Maybe that sounds like Eastern Europe, maybe Ukraine, Russia, or something.
Polish.
Oh, okay. Oh, yeah, right. It says
Mhm.
Polish. They're built different out there. They
Yeah.
they do different stuff. I don't know.
Vodka.
Yeah. Let us toast to death. They're those kind of
Those are men's men.
exactly. That's what I'm saying. They're different. So,
Yeah.
all right.
I'm a little more in touch with my feminine side.
Yeah, and honestly, between the two, yeah, I'd rather that because that's crazy. And then I don't know why the last quote, but he's like, when he was young, he used to wear his sister's underwear. Why do you have to say that? Like,
He
let
went
him
out
go
like
out.
a man.
Yeah, like he had to. Okay, just seemed like a petty thing to say. Anyway, all right, here's the last one. In and out with Russia. Listen, and here's what's crazy. There's no shortage of these stories. Like I have 10 tabs open with all dumb ways people died. There's no shortage. And that's just the last few years. How long have humans been around? So
Yeah, one time.
yeah, exactly. December 5th, 2009, Russia. A 25-year-old chemistry student of Kyiv Polytechnic Institute had acquired the peculiar habit of dipping his chewing gum in citric acid while he worked. While studying at his parents' house in the northern Ukraine city of Konotop, he dunked his gum into an unidentified chemical and stuck it back into his mouth. This caused an explosion that resulted in the lower part of his face being blown off. Police found packets of citric acid and packets of a similar looking unidentified explosive material. Oh, okay, so he mixed them up while he was in a chemistry lab. Maybe, yeah. Sounds like that could have been avoided. All right. What do you guys think of all that?
Madness.
Yeah. Crazy. Crazy.
I think the overarching theme is people do stupid shit. And sometimes the consequences result in death.
So I have a question for both of you. Have you ever been in a situation where you felt like you were going to lose your life? Like legit. Like, oh my God, I'm
Yeah.
gonna die. Have you?
Yeah. I felt I mean it's crazy because okay, I'll just tell you this. So I decided one night to
Mhm.
smoke weed. And this was the first time I had ever smoked weed. And it was with someone who I trusted is the thing. And I won't say who it was, but he knows who he is, if he's watching. And it was over a pool, and we decided to go see Ready Player One. And I took a couple hits, deep, deep inhales, and I was like, this is nothing. I don't know what the big deal is. Well, it wasn't until maybe 20 minutes afterwards when I started feeling the effects, but it must have been laced with like a psychedelic because I
Oof.
start seeing intense red, blue, yellow. There, people have halos around their bodies. And I seriously thought I had died to the point where I had called and left my then wife at the time a voicemail saying, listen, I'm sorry that I can't be there to see the boys grow up, but I'm dead now. Like I literally left that. Yeah.
What?
Yeah,
I
yeah,
did not
yeah.
know that. Wow.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And I thought I died, and I thought this was God's way of easing me into the afterlife by not having me be dead, dead. But like, okay, you're about to go to heaven, but right before you do, you're gonna see a movie, you're gonna spend some time with some people you're comfortable with, and when the movie's over, then I'm gonna bring you up to heaven. Like I
Mhm,
really thought I believe that just like I'm talking to you both right now.
mhm.
That's how messed up yeah. So was I in any real danger? No, but mentally, I was convinced I was already dead.
So you watched the entire movie
Yep.
under the influence,
Yep.
and you were, like, seeing all these.
Yeah, it was just hyper intent. Like, you know how you can change the setting on a TV so that the
Yeah, yeah.
contrast is like all
Okay.
yeah, it looked like that the whole time. I had to watch it again because I couldn't even pay attention. But yeah, no, I thought I was dead.
So did he also have the same effect, or was he at a lesser level?
I think he must have been at a lesser level. Either that or he was so used to it. Like I'm a lightweight when it comes, because I don't do anything. I
Yeah,
just,
me too, right.
and so and I'm mad he didn't tell me it was laced. He should, like that's the
Oh, so
first
he
thing.
knew.
He offered it to me.
Oh,
He
shit.
should have known.
Oh, shit.
I'm over here saying I'm dead, and they were just laughing. They thought it was hilarious. I was serious. I
Oh,
was dead
shit.
serious. I'm like, no, I'm dead. And they let me call my wife. I'm like, hello. So
Uh,
just be careful who you smoke weed from.
yeah, November. How about you?
Yeah, I've been in a situation. It's not a good feeling when you think you're gonna die. Believe me.
Yeah.
So that's what I'll say about that. What I can say about it is, I was the only one home on the ground. Um, I looked in the mirror. It's something like what Jamal said. Um, this is back when I was early 20s or
Yeah.
mid 20s, and my eyes were bloodshot red, looked like they were bleeding. And I
Mhm.
just remember I just collapsed in the bathroom. Then the next thing I was just thinking to myself, I couldn't even walk to my phone. I couldn't even crawl. Couldn't do anything. And I was just thinking to myself, like, wow, I wonder how long it's going to take for somebody to find me here. Like, for somebody to realize I'm gone. Like, where is he?
Yeah.
He hasn't been picking up the phone or showing up. Next thing I knew, it was the morning, and I was just felt like shit. I was like, what the fuck? But yeah, it's not a good experience when you think it's your
Your
time to
time.
go. Believe me.
Yeah.
What
Yeah.
about
I
you,
don't.
Radel?
I think if I haven't had any experiences like that. Like I never really. Um, Maybe in a car accident. I had a pretty bad car accident where I was kind of like, I guess not T-boned, but I was kind of like pushed over into the Jersey barrier and like kind of crushed. And I mean, the car obviously it's crazy because the person that actually kind of like pushed me over to the Jersey barrier left and didn't even stop to check and see if I was okay. But anyways, I lost control of the car. The vehicle was completely wrecked. Um, and when you hit a Jersey barrier, there's no give. I mean, it's an absolute just full stop. So, it was like running into literally a brick wall. So I really thought in that moment for a brief second, that was it. And then the emergency bags released, all the smoke came out of those bags, that it just blows up in your face and stuff like that. And that was the one time that I thought, maybe, it was time to go. But other than that, no, not that I can think of. Even when I was in the military, I never really had a situation where I thought anything like that.
Okay.
Well, speaking of military, so you're wearing body armor in the war zone and you come across a MacBook and you decide you want a MacBook, but where do you hide it? With a quick reflex, I love, I love the personality. With a quick reflex, a Russian soldier slid that MacBook into his chest armor pocket, replacing a ballistic plate designed to save his life. He was killed in Irpin, and his body was retrieved, providing a hearty laugh for all of Ukraine. Instant karma, they reportedly found a stolen iPad as well. Wonder where the iPad was hidden.
Hmm.
Next to his watch. I don't know what that means. Anyway, yeah, that's dumb. So this happened, in 2022. Wow.
That recent.
Yeah, well, it's during the Russian-Ukraine war. Yeah. Why would you do that for a MacBook? That's crazy. And then the picture, you see the MacBook all banged up. That reminds me of a couple. They were a young couple too, and the guy was like, "I want you to shoot me, but I'm gonna have a it was like a really thick dictionary, but I want you to shoot at my chest, and the bullet and the dictionary is gonna stop the bullet." Right? And they were dead serious. I want to say they filmed it. But of course the bullet did not, or the book rather did not stop the bullet and he died. And she actually did time for that.
Hmm.
But my point is, people, yeah, they just make assumptions that aren't true. And to the point where it cost them their life. It's anyway, it's
Well,
crazy.
he's
Yeah.
a jackass. I mean, you're in a war zone. Like, what are you thinking, bro?
Well, his greed overrode his
Yeah, like safety. Like, hello.
mhm. Exactly. Hold on, there's one I want. Here we go. The brainless bungee jumper. I'm gonna read this one. This is crazy. In 1997, police in Western Virginia issued a statement saying they found the body of 22-year-old Erica Barcia, who had apparently died attempting to bungee jump off a 70-foot bridge, eschewing commercial bungee operations. That should be, Eric. Okay, Eric had apparently taken matters into his own hands and tied several bungee cords together. He strapped himself on securely, tied the other end to the bridge, and jumped, confident in the knowledge that he'd carefully measured out the bungee's total length, just under 70 feet. Of course, what Eric had forgotten was the bungee cord stretches.
Ridiculous, bro. Man, it amazes me. For one, I would never bungee cord just a bungee cord, even if it was like
Right,
trained people out there. Like, I'm not gonna
right.
skydive, I'm not gonna bungee cord. Like,
Mm-mm.
I'm not gonna do weird shit, bro. Like,
Mm-mm.
and I can't even
Mhm.
say it's weird because I understand why people do it. Like, you have adrenaline junkies,
Thrill
Mhm.
seekers. Yeah.
thrill seekers. I understand people go up in, helicopters or planes and they skydive with an actual instructor or somebody behind them with hooked up. Like, I wouldn't even do that. I just don't move that way.
Yeah.
Not saying it's wrong or right. I just wouldn't do it
Well,
myself.
maybe Jermaine at this age, right? But what about Jermaine at 21?
Definitely wasn't doing it back then.
Oh, really?
No,
I
fuck
was,
no.
I
I'd
was a
do dumb
little,
shit back then, but not dumb shit that's gonna literally risk my life.
yeah.
There's a
Like
difference from doing stupid shit,
I
but then
think,
doing.
I
Go ahead.
think I would do it when I was 21, but now I don't. Yeah, I'm just risk adverse at this point. So
Yeah, I wouldn't have done it, bro.
Yeah, I'm not one for skydiving or bungee jumping, but
no, me neither.
I mean,
I'm afraid of heights, by the way. So no.
it just that like, why don't you remember bungee cord stretch? Like you measured it and it's exactly 70 feet, and you're just so proud of yourself. Oh, I measured it exactly. And was the point for his head to graze the ground or kiss the ground just before he went back? I just, I mean, it's your life.
Mhm.
That's crazy to me. At least half. It should have been 35 feet at least. I would have gone for a third, but anyway, simple math problem.
You know what the other thing is, like that I wouldn't do that doesn't seem that scary is zip lining.
I've
Oh,
zip lined
oh,
before.
I've done that.
I would
Oh,
not do zip. I'm not.
what?
I
That's
don't know.
safe.
I'm
That's
not.
probably the safest out of them all.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm just that
Better
terrified.
than jumping out of 8-foot floor towards a power line. I'll tell you
Zip
that.
lining, no thanks.
Wow.
Yeah.
What is
I'm
it
like,
about zip? Oh, because it's high up. Is that why?
I think it's the I'm afraid of heights. So yeah. So
Wow. Okay. Okay. I haven't read this one. Let's see. Molten Man, Pompeii, and Circumstance. Okay. What?
oh no, I didn't say anything. Sorry.
So the man was 75, but still game for an off limits sortie into Volcanoes National Park. As a resident of the nearby town of Hilo, the elder hiker was well aware of lava's distinctive molten danger. Probably had a picture of Pompeii on the wall. Yet this midnight hike past a warning you will die sign all locals know better seemed sensible to him. How cool to see the hot red glow of lava at night, right? Okay. Mesmerizing lava was the siren song that lured this old boy to a magnificent sight and a midnight death. Natural laws have no pity. Deceased author Robert Heinlein commented to the luckless volcano vanquished chap as he woke up in the afterlife. I hereby suggest that this man is worthy of an award for his red blooded stupidity. I'm trying to figure out what happened. Can we give a Darwin Award to an oldster and not bellow about how he already is done reproducing my dear? Okay. They didn't even tell you what happened to him. Well, I'm assuming he went to a park he was 70, 75.
Probably ash in the air. Like,
Yeah.
it's-
Okay. That was a whack one. Sorry about that, guys. I don't know what
No,
happened.
you're good.
Yeah. Huh. Okay. Let's see what else. Okay. No, I didn't like that one. Some of these I did read ahead of time. Some I didn't have time for.
I think the overall consensus with these, and people still do it today. I don't think it's ever going to stop. Like, you have the YouTube videos where people are jumping off buildings onto the street lamp and sliding down. What do they call the people who do the risque things when they jump on walls and climb up walls?
Parkour?
Yeah, parkour. You have those people, but then you have the extreme parkour. So you might have a parkour that just runs through a park and flips off benches, but then you have the ones that's in a garage that's 8 stories up, jumping from garage to garage, and you're like, bro, why? So people just do
Mhm.
stupid shit, man. It's never gonna stop. It's always gonna be here. It is what
Yeah.
it is.
Yeah. Okay. Let's try this one, the amateur cliff diver. Alongside Craig, the paraglider in the 1999 Darwin Awards nominations was a 27-year-old who met his untimely demise at Scrinkle Haven in Wales. In an apparent attempt to impress See, impress a group of teenage boys. See that peer pressure coming back. The man whose name the Darwin Awards don't reveal dove off a 80-foot cliff into the water. If done properly, an 80-foot cliff dive shouldn't be fatal, but it appears the man had zero prior experience at high diving. He was knocked unconscious by the water, and although the teenagers climbed down to fish him out, he was proclaimed dead on arrival at the hospital. Needless to say, the teenagers weren't impressed by the stunt. Wow. I think it's cold how a lot of these writers just kind of like really poke fun at these people. They were real people. They were someone's child or husband or daughter, and they just made a bad call.
Poor decision.
Yeah, I think it's sad actually. I think so. For me,
We've all
it
made
just
poor
tells
decisions, right?
we all make poor decisions. I mean, we're still here,
right.
thankfully, but
Yep.
like none of us are immune to like being stupid at one
Nope.
point or another. I mean, there's just some things you're ignorant about.
Yep.
But these decisions these people made like cost them their life, and I think their deaths can serve as education for us who are still here. Like, okay, I'm not going to jump off an 80-foot cliff. Not that I was going to anyway, but you can hit the water, and at that height, it probably feels like concrete.
Mm.
So, and I'm sure people don't like. Remember DuckTales?
Yep.
And Scrooge McDuck would have the
Yep.
money bin, and he'd jump in the money and swim in it.
Hmm.
That's not real. Like, you can't do that in real life. Like, if you jump in a bunch of coins, you'll break your bones.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Or jumping off the roof with an umbrella, thinking you'll like float down.
Something else, now that we're talking about stupid ways to die, this is perfect. What are your thoughts on the Titan submersible that imploded at about, what, 12,000 feet going down?
I don't even know what that is.
Is that with
Oh.
the billionaires on it?
That's right. Yes, there was 5 crew members, right? And I think it wasn't James Cameron, but it was let me look it up for you, and I'll show you. So it's basically a submersible that goes down to the Titanic, and they have a robot, and they can basically just explore the Titanic from this submersible. And they had gone down on several occasions. Billionaires had paid thousands or millions of dollars to go down there. And on this specific occasion, it imploded. It was last year. I'm surprised you didn't hear about it, Jamal.
No, but wasn't there persons on that submersible that was allegedly running from the law or something of that nature?
No, the 5 people on board the submersible that imploded during a dive to the Titanic wreck were Stockton Rush, the CEO of Ocean Gate. So he was the navigator. He was basically driving the ship, the submersible. And literally this guy used a PlayStation controller to control his submersible. I'm not kidding. It was this PlayStation controller. He was the CEO. Then you had Paul Henry Nargolo, who's a French deep sea explorer. You had Hamish Harding, a British billionaire. You had Shahzada Dawood, which was a Pakistani British businessman, and his son. So there's 5 of them.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And that happened last year, if I'm not mistaken.
That's crazy.
September, August of last year, 2024.
No, I hadn't heard of that.
You talk about stupid ways to die, and you paid for that.
Well, Jermaine, you mentioned parkour. So this one's about parkour. The pissed up. These people. The pissed up parkour star. So in 2002, a group of lads from Maidenhead, inspired by what they'd seen in Paris's parkour scene, decided to give free running a go. Things started well for Mark and his mates. They found a gap between 2 multi-story car parks with a 40-foot drop below, and And after taking a good long runner up, Mark managed to clear it. Shuffed with his achievement, he headed to the pub with his pals. On their way home, they passed the car park again, and it was then that things started to go wrong. Full of the Dutch courage that comes from a couple of pints, Mark threw himself at the gap again, but lost his balance on the far side and fell 40 foot onto solid concrete. No amount of alcohol could have cushioned that blow. Okay, so he did it once sober, and then they go to a bar, have a few pints. He passes it again, drunk this time, and thinks he can do it again.
Stupid.
Okay. That doesn't, okay.
No.
Wow. Oh boy. All right. The Niagara Falls jet ski jumper. In 1995, a particularly daring daredevil named Robert decided to attempt something no one had ever done before: ride his jet ski up Niagara Falls. Okay, have I been to have you guys been to Niagara Falls?
When I was a baby, I don't recall it though. Mm-mm.
Yeah, but I just passed by it driving.
I don't think it's as big a draw as it once was. Like I think I think I
Have
was
you
there when I
been
was
there as an adult or
no, I haven't. I've been there. Wait, have I? See, that's the thing. I don't even remember.
yeah,
It must not have
must
been.
not been memorable.
Yeah, it must not have been a big deal. And you don't hear people talk about it anymore. But anyway, now that might sound completely stupid, but Robert had done some planning. He fitted his jet ski with a rocket booster and was carrying a parachute. The idea was to fire the booster as he hit the falls, opening the parachute at the apex of his flight and drifting down to safety in the water below. Okay, that makes sense in my mind, but okay, let's see what happens. Unfortunately, Robert had failed to factor in one crucial element: the fact that water makes things wet. As he no, as he hurled towards the falls and pressed the button, his utterly soaked rocket booster failed to ignite. Plummeting off the edge, he tried his parachute, but it wasn't waterproof either, and it failed to deploy. So I guess we know what happened to Robert. Wow. Again, just didn't have a contingency plan. Like, what if my rocket boot? Yeah. See, it's confidence. The
Mhm.
rocket booster's gonna work, parachute's gonna work. I'm gonna look like a boss. Just never considered that one of those is gonna fail. You see?
Uh,
Hubris. Hubris. That's what took him out. Yeah. Yeah.
eh.
Yeah, exactly. Yep. And you ever heard the saying, if you want to make God laugh, sh- show him your plans? You ever heard that?
Yep. Mhm.
Yeah. He should have showed everyone his plan, and they would have been like, dude, what are you doing? Oh boy. The amateur electrician. Electricity and water don't mix well. Yeah, duh.
Jesus.
Yeah.
Jesus. What are we doing?
Please take care or you may die. In 1999, jet skiing featured in the Darwin Awards once more. This time, the hapless individual was a man named Rodney, who was happily doing laps of Lake Washington when he realized his battery was running a bit low. Pulling up toward the shore, he moored his jet ski and ran to get a set of jump leads.
Hmm.
He plugged the ends into the 110-volt outlet and ran down to the water's edge carrying the crocodile clips. Unfortunately, he didn't stop at the edge and plunged straight in, electrocuting himself instantly. His body was apparently found floating under the dock later that evening. Okay, so the battery in the jet ski was running low. So with the jet ski still in the water, he was going to jump the battery. Huh. After running countless laps, he was like, this is so much fun. I don't want it to end. Oh, my battery's low. Let me jump it. Huh. Okay.
It's funny. Yesterday, I was by an electrical fence and the wire was hanging from the electrical fence. I
Mhm.
did everything in my power to avoid that wire. It said
Yeah.
like 12,000 volts, whatever. You know how it has the yellow sign up there? I did
Mm.
everything I could because it was a trailer by the fence, but the wire was just like not
Mhm.
tangled, but you know how it wraps, even if it lets go, it still
Yeah.
goes around. Bro, I did everything to avoid that wire, regardless if there was voltage running through it or coursing through it or not, bro. I was just like, ooh, shit. Yeah, it was right. Yeah, I think we get the picture with these people dying. You know, like, like, because, like you said, bro, there's probably thousands of stories throughout the last 20 years, probably more than thousands of stories where people just do stupid shit and lose their lives. And unfortunately, we could say it's stupid, but like the skydiving, like some things are stupid, definitely. Like, okay, you're gonna judge a bungee cord by yourself. You're gonna plank on your balcony on the rail. Like that, like those type of things are stupid. The guy who cut off his own head, definitely stupid. But then you have deaths that just could be avoided, such as the person who dove 80 feet but hit the water, boom, and it feels like concrete. Like there's people who can actually make that dive, but if you haven't actually trained to get up to that height, like let's start with 5 feet, then 10 feet, then maybe 15, 20, 30.
Yeah.
You know,
Exactly. Yeah.
like, bro, you're just gonna start off. You're not Jason Statham or whatever the fuck his name is. Like, this isn't Meg. You're
But
not
I
an
think,
assassin.
you're hitting on something. It's just overconfidence. Like these people just don't ever stop to think, what if I'm wrong? Like they don't think that. Like, nah, I'm not wrong. This is gonna work. And then they die.
Yeah.
It's crazy. Or like pulling over on the highway to get a quick, you know, buck.
Or how about while you're driving? I mean, that's crazy too, right?
Yo, just pull over.
Yeah.
It'll feel better anyway.
So,
Like
I don't
it's
know.
crazy.
Maybe it's a rush, right?
It's crazy. It's crazy. Well, all right. Yeah. I mean, yeah, you're right, Jermaine. I mean, there was one more. I mean, okay.
Go ahead. Right on. Right on.
Yeah. Okay. Just one more because it's just crazy.
I
It's
was just commenting in general that, bro, it's gonna be thousands. Go ahead.
yeah. So, ever heard of death by beard?
What?
Yeah.
What?
Death by beard. A man,
Hmm.
someone killed by a beard. Okay. Well, it happened to Hans Stenen. I'm not
Solo?
sure. I can't. Stenen.
Nobody? Star Wars, Han Solo?
That movie was awful. Did you
No,
ever
the
see
real
that?
Star Wars. Wasn't that his name? Han
Yeah,
Solo?
Han Solo. But did you see Solo, a Star Wars story?
No, man,
Oh
I
yeah, that
can't
was
watch the new
bad.
ones that are
Yeah,
coming
that
out
was bad.
Ooh,
nowadays.
Yeah,
ooh,
that was
ooh.
bad. I'm actually watching Andor right now.
How is that?
I think it's well. I've only gotten through the first episode, so I mean, it's in the first season, but there's a season 2, so I'm thinking they're doing well. So I'll
I
let you
saw-
know in about a week.
Well, I saw all of season 1, and I don't see what the big deal was.
Oh,
every-
really?
Yeah, his like superpower is making friends. And now
Andor?
that I've said that, yeah, Andor, yeah, his
Oh.
superpower is making. So now that I've said that, you won't be able to unsee.
I
it.
think I'm kind of biased because I can tell that he's like Latino, so he's like the
Oh,
only
he is
Latino.
Latino. Yeah, he's definitely Latino, and he has a. Well, I'm not gonna give it. I'm not gonna
Yeah,
give it away. Yeah, I'm not gonna give it
I
away.
knew there were Spanish people in space.
Well, there are only
So-
2 black people or 3.
But hey, I tell you what, man, from Star Wars, what's his name? Han Solo's best friend. What was his name?
Chewbacca.
No,
Chewbacca.
not Chewbacca.
Oh,
Luke
Lando.
Skywalker?
Lando. That was the coolest mofo, man. Tell me Lando was not the coolest dude. That
Yeah,
was
Billy
the
D.
coolest dude.
Yeah, he made. And
Oh, yeah.
yeah, he was in the Solo movie.
He was amazing. I love that guy.
Your boy played him. What's his name from Parks and Rec in Atlanta? That show Atlanta. Childish Gambino. What's his name?
Yeah, not
Glover.
Travis.
Glover. Something Glover.
Not Danny
Danny?
Glover.
Oh,
Why can't I think of this fucking?
I can't think of his name. Anyway, he
He's
played
also from Atlanta.
in the new Solo. He played Lando Calrissian, the young.
Let me tell you what I like him in. Have you seen Mr. and Mrs. Smith?
That shit's
Yes.
amazing. Yes,
The series?
oh yes,
Oh,
on Amazon Prime. Yeah,
Yeah, I love that. I was like, bro, this
Oh,
is
man.
better than the movie.
Honestly, it really is. It
Oh,
really
yeah.
is. It's amazing.
I've
Wait,
never
you
seen
saw
it.
it, Renell, and you didn't like it?
I saw Mr. and Mrs. Smith, but I didn't see the series that
Oh,
you
with
No,
guys
so
Brad
there's a
No.
series with his name is also Childish Gambino, right?
Yeah, that's his
His
name.
rap name, but something
What's his
Glover.
name? Glover. I can't remember his name. Glover.
But they
Mr.
take you through the time where
Yeah.
they first met up with each other. Both are spies. Both are new in
Donald
the spy
Glover.
game. I'm sorry, what is it?
Donald Glover.
Donald Glover. But they take you from the time where they first meet and they
Yeah.
have to pretend to be lovers and married. And you see how the relationship builds over time when they go on assignments and things of this nature and they start to care about each other.
So it was
I
like a
think that was one of
prequel.
the best endings ever, bro.
So it was a prequel to the movie, is what it was.
No, not
It
at
wasn't
all.
a prequel. It's just a new view on it.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Because I'm pretty
I'll
sure
t-
there's plenty Mr. and Mrs. Smiths. It's not just Brad Pitt and Angelina Jolie.
So it
Like,
has nothing to do with the movie. It's
nothing.
completely.
No,
It's just a new
it-
take on it.
Oh, okay. Okay. I'll check it out. I haven't
At
seen
least
it.
I
No.
think so. Do you agree,
No.
Jamal? Like,
No, you're both are wrong. I will tell you. So, the Mr. and Mrs. Smith thing is like a program where you have a male and a female spy who go on these covert missions together. And so
Oh.
the film focuses on one such couple, which are Brad Pitt and Angelina Jolie, and they
Yeah.
have their adventure. But what the show on Amazon Prime exposes is that there are many Mr. and Mrs. Smiths, and they just happen to be one of them. And so you follow them from the very beginning. Okay, they both apply for this job, and they're both paired up, and they say, "Okay, you're going to be married now. Act like you're married. Like really buy into it."
Yeah.
And so obviously, if you've never met someone before, that's going to be very awkward. Yet,
Okay.
yet you're also responsible for going on these missions and killing and doing assassinations. So not only are you starting a marriage with a total stranger, but you also get these little cards or these little I think it's a text. They have like some sort of phone, and they don't know who's on the other end, but they'll get these instructions on what to do and where to go and how to kill the person, and they have to work together to do it. And so over the course of the season, you see their relationship evolve and they get better at doing the missions and they go through regular couple shit while also doing badass spy stuff. It's amazing.
Okay.
And they run into another Mr. and Mrs. Smith couple and they, stuff happens with that. It's an amazing show. I hope there's a
it
season
is.
2.
It is. I liked it, bro. When after the first episode, I was like, oh, this is pretty good. I wonder where they're
Mhm.
gonna go. And by the time they got like through the middle of the season, I was like, holy cow.
Oh, I was hooked. I was hooked on episode
So
1.
so how
Yeah.
many seasons do they have?
Just
Just
one so
one,
far.
just one for now. Yeah.
I would have loved for them to keep these 2 stars with the following season. That would have been huge. But I can see them
Yeah.
bringing on other people and
I
introducing.
think it's gonna right. I think you're right. I think it is an anthology. They're gonna
So
go
what
with.
so it came out last year?
I believe so. Early last year.
Was it last? I feel like it may have been 22. I don't know.
I don't remember.
No,
even
you know what?
seeing
Yeah,
it.
it was before I got to Savannah. Maybe 2021, 2022? The end of 2021?
Prime Video. I'm looking it up.
Just put in
Yeah.
Mr. and Mrs. Smith series.
Oh, so it's like it's a black dude and an Asian chick.
Yeah. Oh, you're
Okay.
right. It premiered February 2nd,
2024.
2024.
Yeah.
You're right. It felt like it was longer.
Wow.
than that.
It was wow. That's
Dang.
not even that long ago, bro.
That's not that long ago.
You probably binged it. That's why you feel like it was so long.
No, I didn't binge it.
Yeah.
I probably watched like 2 episodes. I think it did have the capability of being binged. I think they all came out at the same time. But I think I watched like 2 or 3 episodes like a night, and it took like 3 days or so. I guess that is binging.
But
I'm looking here. It says Mr. and Mrs. Smith season 2.
That's cool shit.
I hope they do.
I'm
But
glad they threw some ethnicity into that too.
What? Survivor and more spilled it. What?
That's good.
while we're on the topic of Amazon, they have another series called Fallout, which is
Yeah, that's pretty good.
I think it's better than Mr. and Mrs. Smith.
Really?
Yeah, but
I
it's
have
a
not been-
but Fallout is a video
a-
game or
yeah.
something.
It is
it's a
based
wa-
on the video game.
it's,
It has one of my favorite actors, Walton Goggins.
Post-apocalyptic, right?
Oh, it's phenomenal. It's
Mhm.
phenomenal. And whenever there's a biracial or not biracial, but um a multiracial couple, like
Mhm.
I just I don't know what it is, but I'm a sucker for that. And so, there's like a romance between black guy and a white girl, and yeah, I don't know. I just like that. I like to see that.
You're a supporter of diversity.
I am a supporter. I am. I just like that. I don't know why. Nothing against being with the black queen. I'm not saying that. Please don't come at me. I'm not.
You're gonna get canceled, dog.
I'm not saying that. It's just I don't know why. It's just
The view is coming for you. You hear me?
I think it just I think to me what it's saying is that, like
You just
yeah, like we don't judge. It's just, we just see something in one another past that you can't like put into words. I don't know what I'm trying to say. But anyway, Fallout was a great show. I liked it better than Mr. and Mrs. Smith. In Amazon Prime, they're doing amazing things. Anyway,
Yeah,
I
I
think
think
that
with Fallout, there was just way more moving parts with different actual co-stars. You had the protagonist, the antagonist. You had a lot of different co-stars surrounding her, the young lady who was the main star. But then you had the black guy following her. Then you had the guy that the black guy killed in the suit. Then you had the skull face. There was just a bunch of moving parts that
yeah.
a regular viewer could attach to anyone. With Mr. and Mrs. Smith, it's just like, oh, I like his character. I like her character because really they ran the show. But I'm looking here at a season 2, and it says, well, this is about season 1. Upon its debut, it became the most watched series on the streamer, meaning on Prime, dominating Prime Video's charts for several weeks. A season 2 renewal unsurprisingly followed, and now we have the first form of production update for the second chapter coming from series composer David Fleming. I think they're going to try to bring both of them back, Jamal. I think they're going to try to play with our intelligence at the end, where you're like, okay, they can't go anywhere. He's shot. He's going to die. The chick is outside, and then she opens the door, and you hear a gunshot. Did she get shot? Like, I'm pretty
Mm,
sure the gunshot, and this is how I would do it if I was producing it. Not to say I'm that dude, but if you're going to have a season 2, you're going to have to bring back somebody that one of them knew that was never seen before that kills the young lady outside of the door, because we know she didn't have any bullets. We know
right.
he was down and out. So somebody else is going to have to kill that person when she opens the door.
You remember a lot more than I
Ex-lover.
remember.
And it might be the dude from next door, if you remember that.
Oh, he was up to something.
Yeah, it might be the dude from next door.
But
So
they never like divulged or went like clarified what his role was, right? He was just kind of
no, they
suspect.
did. They
They
did.
did?
Remember, he was a real estate agent, and they were in the spot, the place they were living in. Remember, he had like the building codes,
Yeah.
like all the paperwork, and he knew, like, hang on, there's no one living here. When I look at all this paperwork from the county or the city, why are you guys here? Because this building is worth like $15 million. Remember, he wanted to sell it.
Yeah, yeah,
That's
yeah,
why he
yeah.
was getting close to her.
You know what I remember, and it's such a strange thing to remember, but Donald Glover's character is just talking to the girl, his wife, basically, and he's like, "Why don't you let me eat your pussy? Like, I really like it, and you seem to not want me to do it." And and I remember thinking, "Yo, that is such an interesting conversation to have." And and I think it was a way to kind of like make them seem like a real couple, like with real because I could see a guy saying that to a girl, like, "Yo, I enjoy doing it, but you seem to not want to do it." And like,
Yeah.
yeah, I've had that conversation. That's why.
Jesus. Hey, it happens.
Yeah, and I was just like, yeah, yeah.
If I had the conversation, it'd be like, why don't you suck my dick more? You know, that's my conversation. Like, not me eating your, why don't you suck my dick more? Like you need to push the boundaries here. You can go deeper, bitch. Like,
Yeah. But
but
anyway,
that's just
I was just like so impressed with like
Uh,
dialogue. The dialogue is crazy.
yeah, it was well written. That's for sure.
Well written,
The entire show.
absolutely. But now, to be fair, Jermaine, this did come out in February of 24. Fallout came in April of 24. 24 was actually a great year for Amazon. So
Yeah.
I'd be curious to know how well Fallout did.
Well, how about what do you guys think about The Boys?
I was. Go ahead. Go ahead,
I
Jamal.
love The Boys.
It peaked early.
Yeah. Yeah.
Really? You think-
Later seasons have not been as good as the earlier ones.
Okay.
It's still good. Still good. You
So
know.
compared to Mr. and Mrs. Smith and Fallout, how would you rank those three?
Well, so that's not
Obviously
really-
different genres and all that
well,
stuff. but
well,
I'm saying
not
if,
even
like,
that. It's not even
yeah.
fair. There's way more content for the boys. I would venture to say Gen V, the spinoff from the boys.
Pretty good.
Pretty damn good. Yes.
Oh wow. I haven't even seen Gen V. yet.
Oh, you would love it.
Really?
Oh, you would love that. Yeah. Yeah, they got a Black Magneto on that show. I love it.
And there's another one that I like. What's it called? It's on Prime.
Yeah, all these are fun.
Invincible.
Invincible
yeah.
is good,
That is
Yeah.
good.
but that's a
I
comic
like-
book also.
It's
Yeah,
comic book,
I
yeah.
like Invincible. Mhm.
Yeah,
My,
yeah.
It's crazy. My son and I watch Invincible. Believe
You
it or
let your son watch Invincible?
Yeah.
Damn. That's some gangster.
Jamal jumped on a quick. You let your son watch Invincible?
Yo.
It's just,
I'm-
but I have a talk
Omni-
with him. Because
What's
here's the
it
thing.
say?
Well, I told him, I was like, obviously this is at another level. I said, you need to understand that this is, way beyond your years. I
Did
said,
you
but
see what Omni-Man did to his son Mark? And
Yeah.
I think it was the last episode of
Of
season
season
1.
one. Yeah.
Woo,
you beat the
Woo.
shit out of him.
woo. Not just him, but it leveled a damn city.
Yep.
Ooh.
Yeah, they don't mind taking lives in that cartoon. bro.
No, so many
Yeah.
people die. But season 2, I'm not gonna lie, was kind of weak. But season 3, it came back.
Yeah,
Came
this
back for
last
sure.
one, I just finished.
Yeah.
Yep, my son and I just finished that.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
girl, Eve got her new body, or what's her
Yeah.
name? Adam Eve or whatever.
Yeah,
Adam Eve, yep.
Got a new
Yep.
body. I was like, oh, girl, thick now. Okay. Look
I
at you.
I liked how Conquest, the old dude, he
Yeah.
whispers in Mark's ear and is like, you know what? I'm just bored.
Yep.
And no one wants to fight me. So
Yeah.
thank you for and I'm like, God damn, this dude's getting like deep.
You know who that is, right?
That
the
is the guy
voiceover?
that's Negan from The Walking Dead.
Yes.
I love that guy.
Yeah,
Yes.
he's amazing. He's amazing.
Well, that's funny because Mark is the voice of
the Chinese guy from
the Asian guy.
Asian
Yeah.
guy.
Glenn?
Glenn, yes,
There you
exactly.
go.
So they had like a mini
I never
Walking
picked
Dead.
up on that. Oh.
Yeah, Stephen Yoon. That's his name. Stephen Yoon. Yep.
Yeah, unfortunately, he'll always be remembered as Glenn.
Yeah.
Yep.
Well, didn't he win an Oscar?
I don't know about that. I know opportunities open up after that, though.
I
That's
think
for sure.
Stephen Yoon won an Oscar, man. Stephen.
He's doing well for himself. That's for sure.
Yeah.
Did that dude win an Oscar?
I don't know. I'm still into The Boys. Like I watched the last season and I'm looking forward to, because now his son, you can kind of foreshadow and see what's going to happen. Like, obviously his son's going to grow up and he's going to end up killing him. Right.
Mm. Oh, he was nominated. Okay. Well, he's an Academy Award nominee. No, listen, The Boys is great. The Boys is great. I just feel like I don't know how many seasons are on, either 3 or 4.
4, I
But
think, something like that.
Is it 4? Okay. Yeah, I don't know. It just kind of lost. Yeah, it kind of lost its direction a little bit. But seasons 1 and 2, phenomenal. I love.
First season when A-Train runs through the girlfriend, I was like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Like the very first episode. I was
That
like,
caught
oh,
me.
shit.
It's kind of like
They
just
pull you
shocked
in
me.
quick.
Yeah, for sure. It's kind of
But
like
you know why that's good, though? Let me tell you why it's good. Because in real life, if people had superpowers, that's exactly how it would be.
Yep.
Yeah.
It wouldn't be Avengers shit. It would be robbing banks and doing, essay kind of stuff. Like, what's the dude's name? Red Love Sausage or whatever, with the penis that can
Oh, in the
touch a
show.
mile.
Hey, I know he was
Yeah,
fucking bitches up, bro.
yeah, and then he blew his load on a mother's milk at the superhero orgy. You remember that?
Oh,
Yeah, they had
yes.
some crazy stuff in that show, bro. They got some crazy stuff in
Yo,
that show.
I love it.
yo,
It was
That's what
funny.
pulls you in. Like, what are you gonna do
Yeah.
next?
exactly. But yeah, that was probably one of my favorite seasons. Was the one with Soldier Boy. Soldier
Yeah.
Boy don't give a what.
Yeah.
Oh man, I like Soldier Boy is probably one of my favorite characters.
He was
I
cool.
like
Yeah.
he's
Mhm.
really cool.
Oh,
But
supernatural.
yeah. But I'm just curious, like Huey, who's the son of Meg Ryan and what's
That's
his
Meg
guy's name?
Ryan's son.
That's Meg Ryan's son. Meg Ryan and
No way.
I never knew.
yes,
I
yes,
did not
he's
know that.
well, his father's famous, if I can remember his name.
It's amazing how you can get into that field with the right connections.
Well,
Oh,
that's clearly what it is. It's
his name is
nepotism.
Jack Quaid. Yes.
Quaid,
Dennis
Dennis Quaid.
Quaid.
Dennis
Dennis
Yes.
Quaid. Oh yeah, they were married.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
So that is Dennis Quaid and Meg Ryan's son. So, but his character is such a
Bitch.
bitch. Like he plays a bitch like you would not believe.
Yeah.
And he's in a movie.
He's in Novocaine now.
Yeah, he was in Novocaine, but he was in another one where he had a girlfriend who was a robot. I can't remember the name of it. I saw it's on HBO right now, and he's an asshole in that. He can really play an asshole very well. Very well.
Huh?
It wasn't a bad movie. I think it was trying to like speak on domestic violence. I think is what it was trying to say. But that was a lovely tangent. I listen, I'm always game to talk about pop culture stuff. But I think Fallout's probably my favorite show. Well, no.
So that's cool. I've got some series here that I need to go check out because I really didn't pay any attention to Fallout and I didn't pay any attention to Mr. and Mrs. Smith, so I'm gonna jump in there.
I would say those two right there should be at the top of your list, bro.
Top of your list right now. Oh my!
Check it out. I'm glad you guys said that.
I might just watch Mr. and Mrs. Smith again.
Yeah.
Just because I only went through it one time.
Now,
Usually
you know
I
what
go through something one time, and
Uh-huh.
there's a few shows that I've rewatched throughout the years. So one of my favorite movies is Grease, the original Grease with John
Yeah, it's a great
Travolta
movie.
and Olivia Newton.
Mhm.
I've probably watched that literally hundreds of times.
Wow.
The first Matrix,
Yeah, great movie.
I've probably seen that hundreds and hundreds of times. I remember I was dating a chick. She used to come and like, "Why are you watching this again?" I was like, "What? What? It's just the fuck. I'm just a dude, bro. I like the movie. Like, go cook or something. I don't know. Like,
Okay. Well,
like, leave me alone."
Well, here's the thing, and I'm gonna blow both your minds. You both like animation because you've seen Invincible. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I know neither of you have seen this, but you're gonna thank me
Heavy
after
Metal?
you watch it. Nope. You're gonna thank me after you watch it because this is probably by far one of the greatest animated miniseries ever created. It came out in 2023.
I know what you're talking about. Pull it up on the screen for us so we can see it.
It's called Scavenger's Reign.
Oh no, I didn't.
Yeah. Scavenger's Reign. Can I make that big? Yes, there it is. It's a Max original, and this is a 10 out of 10 for me. This is a top shelf, exquisite. I don't even want to tell you what it's about.
Oh, I've passed this. I've never clicked on it though.
Listen. You will enjoy it. Watch the first episode. You'll be slightly hooked. By the end of the second episode, you'll be like, "Oh, holy shit! What was clear my schedule?" Like it's really good.
Clear my schedule.
It's
That's funny.
really good. I think what's it? Let's see. I'm curious what it has on Rotten Tomatoes. Let me see.
This is perfect because what I do is that when I travel to Colombia, that's all I do is I just kind of binge on some of these episodes and series. So
okay, it has a 100%.
100%. How is that possible?
On Rotten Tomatoes, and then 96 popcorn meter. That's the audience. So the audience score is 90%, 96%, and the
That's high.
critics is 100.
That's
And
hard.
I think that's low because it's even better. I mean, I'm
I mean, you
telling
can't go over 100 though.
fine, but if you could, this would deserve it. That's how good it is. And see, I didn't even know that's what the score was, but I knew it was high. It had to be because it's great.
And what
So,
year did that come out?
It
2023.
came out in 2023.
You know what's another good one
What's that?
that I actually watched? Blue
that?
Eye Samurai.
Oh
Yeah, I
phenomenal.
saw that. That was
Phenomenal.
good. Yeah, I
Phenomenal.
actually
But
watched
you
that.
think this is better than that, Jamal?
Ooh.
Because I love the
Hmm.
storyline in Blue Eye Samurai. I was like,
It was
because
great.
I knew it was a girl, but you don't know until like
I didn't know that till the end of episode 1.
You
And he
could
was like,
tell.
peaches.
Yeah, you could
He
tell.
goes, oh, you have peaches or whatever he said.
Mhm.
The dude
so
with
you
no
think
hand.
it's better than Blue Eye Samurai?
Remember,
Now think about this. Remember the
Yeah.
storyline, who she's
Yeah.
chasing, what her mom
So-
did, her husband.
You know what this is? Let me tell you what this is like saying who's better, Biggie or Pac?
Wait,
Oh, okay.
she didn't have a husband. She had
She did have a
fell.
husband.
Yes, she did. The dude.
She had a husband.
I thought she fell in love with that guy that she was.
That's the husband.
She married him.
Yeah,
I
they
don't
were
remember.
married.
Remember they were living together?
They were married. Oh yeah, they were married. She had to like marry him and go away. And at first she was like, "Fuck you," but then she warmed up to it.
Oh.
And
then
then
he
they
ended-
had that fight, and he was like, "Yeah, this bitch good."
Right,
Looked
yeah,
at her different.
yeah, he did. He did.
Yeah.
But then he ended up being a dick, and
Yeah, call the people.
because she was better than him in like every way, and he couldn't handle it.
Yeah. When she
Um,
walked away from her mom and him, and they were still fighting, I was like, "Wow."
So here's the thing. You have the main protagonist of Blue Eyed Samurai, the one, whatever her name is. And she carries that series, mainly her. She has some good like side characters, right? Supporting cast,
Yeah.
but it's mainly her. That's Blue Eyed Samurai. Scavenger's Reign, you have several like top tier
Yeah.
characters, and they each have their own plot lines, and they all converge at the end.
Yeah.
So it's a fuller meal
Yeah.
of storytelling and plot development and character development
Yeah.
when compared to Blue Eye Samurai. Not to take anything away from Blue Eye Samurai, but I think there's a lot more here.
It's like how you look at Fallout and Mr. and Mrs. Smith. No, I'm being serious. Way more characters. They have their own plots, their own story.
Oh, yeah, but I mean, to your point, Fallout's a bit all over the place, whereas I think Mr. and Mrs. Smith is more. It knows what it is more. Fallout's kind of like trying to do because it's got the ghoul character, the skull guy, and you go back in time with his stuff. And
Mhm.
Yeah,
that's
the
a
only thing
plot
I was
line.
saying, I'm putting myself in your shoes, how you view series and movies. Like how when we talk about how I rate, and then you guys like, okay, I kind of see how you rate. When everything you've said thus far pertaining to these series,
Yeah,
you feel that Fallout is better, Mr. and Mrs. Smith. But I'm looking at Fallout. Okay, so there's more main stars in Fallout, even though the girl is the main star. But there's more co-stars with their own storylines and plots. Mr. and Mrs. Smith, two fucking people. And now we just started speaking about this, where you're explaining how Blue Eye Samurai, she carries the movie.
she does.
But with Scavenger, you're looking at it again. You said the same thing that you said about Fallout. There's different plots, there's different characters. So I'm looking how you view movies, but I understand how you say there's two different. So it's like comparing Biggie and
Biggie
Pac.
and Pac. It is. Now that's not to say. I mean, okay, that is one way to take what I said. I'm not going to deny that, but I think there's more to why I like it than that. And you're forcing me to really think because I've never had to think about it before. But I just feel like there's more meat on the bone, not because they're more character. There's more than that. Now I will say this about. I'm going to say something negative about Blue Eyed Samurai. The bitch has superpowers. She just does. And I know it's animated, okay, but she comes out of some impossible situations, and you're just like, for real? Okay.
She's just a bad bitch.
I mean,
But a bad look, no
Come
matter
on
how
now.
bad you are, you're going to, let's say the baddest chick with a sword going against 100 regular guys next
Right.
to her. Like, yeah, the odds are against you.
Yeah, so I don't know if you saw. Have you seen The Old Guard with Charlize Theron? We were talking about
Yeah,
Oh,
that.
that was a
have
good
you seen the
movie.
new trailer?
Yeah, and I was just about to tell you how
Go
much I
ahead.
hated it. I
I'm
can't
sorry.
freaking stand it. And let me tell you why I hated it. All right. So Charlize Theron, beautiful. We talked about this in the after party. Check out our
Love her.
Patreon as soon as we get it.
Yeah.
But and this same thing happened when she was a super spy, not a super spy, but she played a spy in another film. Oh man, I gotta look up her IMDb.
Yeah, Atomic
Atomic Blonde. Thank you. That was it.
Mhm.
It was the same thing
Yeah,
where she has to throw her whole body at guys twice her size for it to
yeah.
come across as somewhat believable that she's throwing weight behind her punches. And it
Mhm.
was like that in this whole trailer. And then, no shade against Uma Thurman, but I think she's a little rusty.
Yeah,
Like
Yeah.
her delivery of her lines was super cheesy, like just
yeah,
over the top.
yeah.
I agree.
So that plus the poor fight choreography, and you had the one bitch coming through the glass like Matrix style, but not in a good way. I just feel like they didn't have the same budget. Maybe it all went to Charlize Theron and Numa. I don't know,
So
but
hold on. So Old Guard came out a couple of years ago. You're saying there's a part two? That's
Yeah,
yes,
they just
correct.
released the
They just
trailer.
released the
Like,
trailer.
I need to check that out. So you're saying because Old Guard was pretty good.
Old Guard was pretty good. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
It was
for an action movie, it
for right,
survived.
right,
Yeah,
right.
I wouldn't go to the movies and watch that in the
No,
movie
no,
theater.
that's a
But
Netflix
yeah,
film.
Netflix, I'm good. Yeah, I'll watch it.
But this sequel, I'll wait.
Mhm.
Y'all watch it first and let me know what you think.
No, thanks.
I have a question
Yeah.
about a show to see if either of you guys saw it. Have you either of you ever saw the Boondock Saints?
I've
No.
always heard that was good. I tried watching it, and you know what happened? I think I waited too long
And it
because
became old.
it became old. Yeah. I
Have you
tried. Yeah.
have you guys ever saw Usual Suspects?
Oh yeah.
No.
Guys are so
Reservoir
sick.
Dogs?
Oh,
Yeah,
of course.
actually, yeah, that was forced upon me by
Yeah,
Aaron
but
Lampman years
yeah,
ago.
big head. He was a diehard Tarantino head. Still is.
Jesus.
But I'm telling you,
Holy crap.
I mean, Sinners is in theaters. I know you guys don't have time, but I'm telling you, Ryan Coogler. So he had an unprecedented deal with Warner Brothers. This was original content that he created, inspired from his by his grandfather, right?
Mhm.
And you've seen the trailers. It's a vampire thing or whatever. After 25 years, the rights to this film reverts back to him and his estate.
Mm.
Unprecedented. No one else in Hollywood's ever had a deal like that. He's the
Hmm.
first. And there were several studios bidding over this content, and Warner Brothers won out by saying, okay, after 25 years, we'll give you the rights. So of course he's going to start making sequels to try and make this into
Yeah.
a franchise.
Yeah.
But it's on its way to making 400 million worldwide on a $90 million budget.
Wow.
It's amazing.
Nice.
Yeah, absolutely. So Sinners, phenomenal movie. I should definitely check it out. I brought that up a couple episodes back, but
Mhm.
You know what's weird? I don't even like Michael B. Jordan as an actor. But a lot of people
Really?
say this is probably as a pure
So
actor.
yeah, so here's the thing with Michael B. Jordan. I'm gonna reserve my judgment until I see this movie, right? But this is my thing with, and I don't know if you feel this way, Jermaine, but my take with Michael B. Jordan is that I almost feel like he's always playing the same character in a lot of his roles, right? It's always like, hey, I got to be tough, I got, it's me
well, he's
against
got
the
the
world.
muscles.
Yeah, and so I haven't seen him evolve like you do, and this is an easy one to pick out, like a Denzel Washington that just has an array of different characters that he played throughout his career, right? Now, and I'm saying I'm reserving judgment until I see this movie. Perhaps he has or is evolving here in this movie. That
Well, no,
may
he's
be
a
the case.
badass with a machine gun in it.
Is he? Okay.
Yeah. He's
All
a bad.
right.
So okay. He was Killmonger in the first Black Panther.
Exactly.
He was in a Amazon
Creed.
Prime. He was in Creed. He was in an
Mhm.
Amazon Prime movie,
He was a Navy SEAL in
Rainbow
that movie.
Six.
Yep,
Yep.
Navy SEAL.
All right, and Sinners. He had the machine gun. Now he was in Fruitvale Station, where
I
he
Yeah,
didn't.
played
I,
the.
di- I
You know,
didn't.
so
he
that's
was
a very
also in The
good movie.
Wire.
But
Well, he was
Wire
like
was a great
10.
show.
Yeah, but he
but
was
that
10.
that's when I want. That's what I want to see out of actors, right? Is I want to see
Oh,
their versatility.
he was
And
also in Chronicle.
Yeah, with the 3 kids with powers. I saw that.
He was in that.
what did he play there? I've
He
never seen
he
it.
played
A
one.
young
He
kid
played
with
a.
powers.
He played. Thanks, Jermaine. Yeah, yeah. That's it. He was in a rom com. He was in a rom com. It didn't go well.
So we'll see. So the jury's still out. Michael.
Okay.
Good. Hey, he's killing it, right? He's doing his thing. But with Denzel, I just, of course, Denzel's been around for 25, 30 years, right? And so he has a larger sample size. But at the end of the day, once I start seeing that from Michael B. Jordan, then I'll say, okay, yeah, he's arrived. But for
I
now,
saw an amazing YouTube video. It was a reel, and it started like they have this for a bunch of different actors like Tom Cruise and Morgan Freeman. They had one on Denzel, and they started with his first movie, and it shows us the thumbnail of the movie,
mhm.
how much the movie made in a gross sales, and then what he was paid, and you see it go across the screen, and it takes him a good 10, 15 years before he starts getting to like 10 million a movie, 20 million a movie. So it takes time. I mean, especially for a black actor in the 80s.
Yeah,
He had a lot of duds at first, like a
yeah.
lot of garbage movies before he became Denzel.
But you
Yeah.
know what? And I've seen a lot of Denzel movies, right? But
Yeah.
the one movie that I'll ask you before I tell you what movie kind of sticks out to me, the one that really stayed with me forever.
Mhm.
What movie for you kind of sticks out that kind of you say, hey,
Denzel movie?
yeah, that you say, wow, that was impressive.
Uh, that is one of the easiest questions you could have possibly asked me because for the longest time, Denzel Washington was my all-time favorite actor. I think he's been dethroned by Idris Elba
Yeah,
for reasons I can get into later. But yeah, for the longest time, Denzel was my favorite actor, and my favorite movie of his stars uh, a woman who I would love to be my baby mama, Paula Patton. The movie is called Deja Vu,
Oh,
and it's a great movie. I don't know that it did well. Maybe it did, maybe it didn't. But it has three things I like. It has action, love, or I should say, action, romance, and time travel,
yeah,
all wrapped up in one movie, and
yeah,
it's perfect. I love
yeah.
it.
he was a police officer in that, right?
Yeah, he was a ATF agent.
It wasn't Sonya Lathan in that movie also?
No, that was Paula Patton.
Yeah,
Oh,
but
okay.
he was the protagonist and the main actor in that movie, right? It was
Yes,
like, yeah,
yes, he
okay.
was.
So
And
my
you
favorite
had
movie,
Jesus was the bad guy, the guy who played Jesus. I forget his
Okay.
name. Mhm.
I think my favorite movie with Denzel um, is A Man on Fire.
I never saw
I
that.
never saw that either.
The
Yeah.
one with Dakota Fanning when she was like 7 or 8, and he was a bodyguard, and the cartel kidnapped her.
Oh,
And
yes, I did. That was a good movie.
yeah,
Yep.
he
I
just
did see
turned
that.
into a beast, and I was like,
Yeah.
oh
He went
Jesus.
beast mode. He did.
And I like it because at the end he actually fucking died. Like, okay, this is what would really happen if you had a.
But he
Spoiler.
saved the girl, right? I
He
remember him
saved the
saying,
little girl
yeah, yep.
and gave up his own life. Yep.
Yep, that was amazing. I
Mm.
do. And he actually cried, right? Because he saved her, I think, at the end or something like
Yeah,
that.
because he
Yeah.
didn't have a family. He came from being like a special operations or like a
Yeah.
spy or
Yeah.
whatever. And he had alcohol problems just
Yep.
because of all the things he did in his past. And when he was hired to take care of her, he was literally an alcoholic. And, she pretty much put love in his heart and he started smiling and shit. I think his nickname was Greasy Bear or something like that she named him.
Mhm.
I was like, okay, this shit's pretty cool. But
Wow.
yeah,
Okay. So Renell, what's yours?
So for me, was a moment. He was not the protagonist in this movie, but he was such an impactful piece of the movie, right? Is in Glory.
Oh, when he was, yeah.
Okay.
And specifically when he's getting flogged.
Oh, yeah.
Hmm.
That one big, huge teardrop. Yeah.
Oh, Jermaine.
Hmm.
Like I felt the pain that he was feeling and the anger and just the resentment, right? And like, you know what, motherfuckers, one of these days.
You know what I said when that happened in the movie? Way to show these Negroes who's in charge. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. Hey, so believe it or not,
Oh shit.
if you take,
That's horrible. We do not
if you, I
support
know,
flogging.
and I was kidding. People, whoever watched this later, I was kidding.
Especially the Negroes. Yes.
I was kidding. But look, they did the same thing to Deion Sanders' son. Like, oh, you think you're above us, meaning the NFL? You're going to be the last person picked when you thought you were going to be picked in the first round, maybe
Yeah.
top 10, because you're carrying yourself like you don't have to do interviews with NFL teams. Your dad goes online and say, there's a few teams I won't allow him to play for. Bro, let me tell you, I know a lot of people like Deion Sanders, but like Jamal said, people with hubris to think you're big enough to say, my son's going to the NFL, but there's some teams I just won't allow him to play for. Bro, you're not the Manning family. There's a difference. You're
Well,
big, but
yeah.
there's a difference.
So here's the thing with Dion, right? So for me, you know, I look,
And I like
first and
Deion, by the
foremost,
way.
yeah, full disclosure, I'm a huge Deion Sanders fan, greatest NFL cornerback, greatest cornerback ever, full stop, period. But
Show me the money. No, wait, what
yeah.
was it? No, it wasn't.
Show
Must
me the
be
money.
must
Show
be
me the money that's
Must be the
turning
money.
them
Must be the
on.
money. That's what it was.
Must
Yeah.
be,
Must be the money.
Yeah. So the problem is Dion wasn't a quarterback. He was a cornerback, right? And so you can have that kind of swagger, that kind of facade about you in that position. But if your son is going to be a quarterback, you have to be a leader.
Mhm.
You have to be a leader of men. And especially at that level, there is no you can have swag, but you got it, and there has to be some humility. It has to be, right?
I agree.
And that's the problem. He came out like balls in his hands. Look, you guys are gonna do what I want, and it's like, hold on, like you haven't even hello, you haven't even gone through 2 days yet.
Hold
you
on,
know?
sweet pea.
So, yeah, exactly. So it's a completely different position, and I think he overplayed his cards, his hand.
It was definitely a reality check.
Yeah, but
But
but I mean, he may. I don't know if he's going to be great, but he may turn out to be a great quarterback. Who knows?
anyone can be great, man.
Yeah.
Like anyone can be great, bro. Just because he got left out that long doesn't mean he's not going to be
Yeah.
a good player or a great player. I just think it had more to do with everything that was surrounding him as a person. Because remember, NIL deals nowadays, I just saw something earlier where the guy was playing for uh Tennessee and he was making 2.4 million and his dad was like his agent wanted
Oh,
more money. Did you see
yeah,
that?
yeah.
And now he's with a team making 1 million. Like, bro, stop being greedy.
Dude,
Like just shit like that. Like
ridiculous. And he went to UCLA now, and he's
yeah,
making less. Believe it or not.
nowadays like young kids are too big for their britches, bro. Before it was just like, bro, I'm happy to go to the NFL and keep playing football because a lot of people that I knew didn't make it. Like,
Nico Lamaleva is his
yeah,
name. Nico Lamaleva. Yep. Crazy.
yeah, man. But the Dion shit, I like Dion, but let's be honest, there was way more coaches that should have got the Colorado job before Dion, bro. Let's just be for real. His stardom, his fame allowed him to get these positions, and obviously he played in the NFL, probably the best cover corner ever.
Yes.
But I will say he's not dumb because he hired people that knew more about football than him. He
Exactly.
just was the head coach. I'm the
Yes.
people person. The kids follow me. You guys follow me. The offensive coordinator knows more than I do. The defensive coordinator knows more than I do.
Yeah.
Special teams know more than I do. Boom. It's kind of different from someone who's the Kansas City Chiefs,
Oh,
Andy Reid.
Andy Reid. Yeah.
Like it's very difficult to find someone who knows more offense than Andy Reid and is a head coach.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, man, I just think it came back to bite him, man. You're in college, you're wearing platinum chains while playing football. Yeah, some shit I don't understand. Like, bro, maybe I would have been that way if I made it to the NFL wearing like I don't know, but it is what it is, man.
Humility is a good quality to have.
Yeah, and hey, it's okay to be confident.
There's a
But
difference between confidence and
and
what
cocky.
Shador is doing. So yeah.
And that's what we learned
Mm.
from Stupid Ways to Die.
Stupid ways to die.
And it comes full circle just like that. Isn't that something?
Beautiful.
All right.
We love connective tissue.
We do. We do. I love the tangent, by the way.
Yeah.
Because I could talk about movies and shows all day. It's just a great way to escape. And I
So I
love
have a
that.
surprise for you guys.
Oh,
Yeah. Would
okay.
you guys like to rate?
Rate what?
Rate what?
Rate a friend?
Sure, pull her up.
What? Yeah. Oh, shoot. It's
Here we
a
go.
birthday.
Tell her don't get mad at me.
Ready, steady.
Hang on, can you send me that picture to my other phone? No, because I'm using my phone, so I want to actually view the full picture. I want to. No, I'm being serious. Yes, really. Just send the picture to my
All right.
08 number.
Oh, to
All right.
his spank bank. I mean, his phone.
No, bro, it's not Spank Bank. Because remember, you guys,
Sorry, I don't know
when
what
I'm
I
looking
did.
at it, I don't have a full screen like you guys that shows
All right.
like a
All
big
right.
picture.
I don't know what I
Okay.
did. I deleted it.
I'm sending it back to you, bro.
Do you want me to go last?
Yes, you go last because you
You
rate
go
so damn
last because
hard.
yours is going to be the best.
Yeah.
Well, can you put it back up there again so I get
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
this? I have so many questions.
You sent it right now?
Yeah, damn, I lost it. Hold on. Sorry.
Is she Latina?
Yes.
Of course, bro. We're doing it right now.
She
What kind of a stupid question is that?
clearly. So forgive me. She leans more on the Euro Latino.
Absolutely. Yes.
Like
we don't discriminate down there, right?
No, you don't.
Yeah.
But I need proof of Latin heritage. Say something in Spanish, like with her, because like she can fool you.
She'll be on the show one day.
Okay.
Mhm.
Okay. Interesting choice of tattoo.
Yeah, I'm not a fan. I am not a fan.
Renee, are you actually going to send me the picture?
Yes, bro. Calm down. Jesus.
No, like it takes, you know how
I'm
long
gonna
it takes to go like this on your phone and send a text with a picture? Like 10 seconds.
Man.
All right.
How did it get up on the screen?
But I
Like
love the picture because she sent it in one of those daily pics instead of like it's not. Hold on, here I'm just gonna send it to you. Shit, we could just send you this
daily pics. I
Um,
don't know what
status pics. Sorry.
Oh, like on WhatsApp?
Yeah.
Oh, where you can actually comment on this? Okay. Yeah, I used to have WhatsApp. Realized there's nothing but whores in WhatsApp. And I had to get off like Jesus.
For me, God, they're not.
I'm not saying she's a whore. That's not what I'm saying.
Yeah.
That's not what I don't even know her. Don't know her personally whatsoever. She's probably a modest church-going girl with a shirt pulled up above her navel, posing sleeveless in the mirror with a short feminist haircut.
Yeah.
It's cool. It's cool.
I'm not feeling these tattoos. They're like,
Why don't I see any? What tattoos?
Exactly. No, there's like one on her left arm. Like you see the string or the rope or whatever that is.
Well, when Raynell send me the picture, I can look at it. Raynell, literally, all you have to do is take a screenshot, bro.
Renell, please send him the picture.
No, he's
Please
like,
do it.
he's,
Or you know what? I can. You know what? You know what's quicker?
here,
If I take a
I sent
screenshot.
it to both of you. Okay.
No. What's quicker is if I just take a screenshot and then text that to.
Okay,
Jermaine.
I sent them a better picture. Don't worry.
I'm gonna do that real
Yeah.
quick. I should have
But
done
we
that
got to
5
judge the
minutes ago.
same picture. So I'm
Well-
looking at a different picture than what's on the screen.
You're getting a better one.
Boom. There you go.
Wait,
I
did
just
you
did that.
email me the picture or text?
I just texted
Okay.
it to the
I
group
texted
chat.
it to both of you. Mhm,
I texted to the RJ Square podcast.
mhm.
There
Yep,
it is.
there you go.
Okay, she has a little sun on her shoulder or whatever that is.
Yeah.
Something on the inside. Go ahead, Jamal. I'm sorry.
You can do okay. So on a scale of 1 to 10, I give her. Oh, there's a video. Why are you sending? I've seen this already. Is that the same girl?
Yes, sir.
This is the same girl?
Shh, yes.
Wait. Not the video. Wait.
Yes. Yes.
No, that's not her.
Yes.
That's her?
Wow, how different she looks, right?
So different.
Well, it's because that's on the DL.
Huh.
Hmm.
Like she just
Well,
got
well,
finished
wait,
having
well,
sex.
now should we save this for Patreon? Because how are we really supposed to talk about this right now?
Okay, so let's stop here, and then this will be a great teaser for those that want to join our Patreon. You really want to get into the nitty gritty.
Okay, all right. Look, because this needs to happen right now. So
Yes.
quickly, where can everyone find you on social? Renell, go.
Raynell Saw _JR Instagram.
Jermaine, where can people find you?
Oh, I'm sorry, I was taken back by the video. No. November Montgomery on all platforms, Facebook, I believe Instagram, also the other YouTube thingamajiggy. November Montgomery.
Yep, and I'm Jamal at Jamal is Good on Instagram and Blue Sky. And that's a wrap for tonight's episode of the RJ Square podcast, where the combo never stops. If you vibe with us, please do us a favor, hit that like button, drop a comment. We want to hear from you. Subscribe so you don't miss any future episodes. And we're live here every Monday and Thursday for now at 9 p.m. Eastern on YouTube and Instagram. Until next time, keep it grown, keep it honest, and as always, join the conversation. Now let's talk about this.
The good stuff is on the Patreon. You
Let's
better
talk
join
about
us.
let's talk about this picture now, guys.
Well, you're still recording.